Hello everyone, welcome to my Solopreneur Spotlight series. In this series, I'm featuring women with a dream and passion, especially in starting their own business. So let's get inspired by their stories, experience, and journey. Today, I have a very special guest with me. Her name is Peck Cheng. We met about 3 years ago in a business and marketing workshop, and she was also my client. And just let me read out her bio. She is the founder and speaker of P-Click International. She has more than 20 years of experience in the financial industry. A lot of experience in speaking. She's appeared in multiple media platforms, such as the Straits Times, Lianhe Zaobao, 938 Live here in Singapore. So thank you, Peck Cheng, for agreeing to do this interview with me. I'm just curious, right? Let's get started. You have been in the financial industry for many years. What made you decide to become a speaker?
First and foremost, thank you, Evelyn, for the invite and a very good day to all of you. How I come into this speaking business, it actually started off with my financial advisory business. Yeah. So because back where I came from, I was constantly being invited to do sharings, motivational aspects, as well as giving sharings on financial planning topics. And this happened since 2002. And by the time I started my business, speaking business, it was already about 15 years that I've been actively speaking. That means almost on an annual basis, I'm regularly being invited. So it was a skill that I realized that I built over time. And I felt it may be a little bit wasted if I don't do more things about it. And I actually enjoy sharing. And I felt that a lot of people, more people can actually benefit through sharing with a bigger audience. Yeah, so that's how I started.
Right. Is there any specific part about speaking that you particularly enjoy about? Is it connecting with clients or audience? What is that?
I think one aspect of the speaking, or rather one part of the speaking that I do will be in terms of motivational speeches. That part actually I'm personally very excited and I love it a lot. Reason is because I have the opportunity to, how to say, I would say share some of the experiences and happenings in my life with my audience. And from there, sometimes, some people tell me that, hey, why is it that you need motivation? Sometimes they even feel that it's something that is very fluffy. But I beg to differ, actually. To me, motivation is not about telling another individual how good, how successful I am. I think it is through life experiences, something that is happening to every one of us. It serves as an opportunity for us to relate to each other and sharing with each other how some things can still be possible despite happenings in our life. I mean, we can't expect that nothing is going to happen in our life.
True,
And
true.
over time, I realized that everybody has their fair share of problems. And your problem is not going to be nice if I were to take over, and similarly for mine to yours, right? But if we can have this platform, this opportunity for us to share it, I think it is a chance for us to relate to each other, understand that, hey, actually certain things can be done. Or sometimes there may be some blind spot in us that we didn't notice. We didn't realize that, hey, actually there's more than one way of getting things done. And what will they be? And what makes me feel particularly happy and excited about is when I have audience that really come up to me and said that, wow, Peck Cheng, that was something that really moved me, or after some time the more touching ones are that after some time they come back to you and say that, do you know, your speech really made a difference to me. I've made these changes, and some others who can come back with feedback, things like, wow, nobody has ever shared this with me, and I'm so glad that involved. So I like this kind of interaction. For my case, anything that I do, I would like to do things that can add value to others. And in
Mm.
this aspect, I felt I can add significant values in a meaningful manner.
Well, I hear you like, wanting this idea or this being very connected, right, with this purpose of motivating people, motivating lives, and making a difference. Is there a particular motivating story or experience from your life that you can share with the audience here today? Like just very briefly, is there one?
Uh, maybe can start from me being a cancer survivor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it struck me when I was 32 years old, when my daughter was just 2.5 years old. Yeah, so you can imagine it came as a big shock. It was a shock to me, not because I don't expect it to happen, but
Mm,
it came as a shock because it came too early. Yeah. I think falling sick is something that I think we can reasonably expect to happen. But to come at 32 years of age, I mean, just think about it. What were you doing when you're 32 years of age?
yeah.
I think it is a time for us to build a family, a time for us to really, live our best in our career, because we will have worked like 7 to 10 years by then, with
Mm-hmm.
enough experiences. So it was a period where you're supposed to build things, isn't it?
Yeah.
But this happened. So I'm really forced to look at life in a different way. I used to be an individual consistently on a fifth to sixth year in life. Yeah, so because of this situation, I have to make a decision, because I have to give myself the maximum opportunity of being alive, for my
Mm.
daughter and for my family. So I chose my family over myself. Yeah, so it was not an easy period, because to slow down, I slowed down at least 40%. And it was difficult for me because all my peers are go-getters.
Okay.
Yeah, they are go-getters. They are very self-motivated, and they continue to progress, very fast.
Mm.
Whereas, I mean, in career aspect, I really have to, take a back seat for that. It wasn't a very pleasant feeling. But I think this whole period, I learned a lot of things. One thing is on patience.
Mm.
Yes, I used to be very impatient. Everything has to be done quick, fast. Yeah, but now I think after this good more than 10 years of training for me, I look at time in a different manner now. Yeah, sometimes I realize to be slow is to be fast.
Ah, I like that. I like that.
Yes, yes, yeah. So I think in terms of maturity, I had grown a lot. I think it was also a humbling experience for me. When I was younger, I really took health for granted.
Mm.
Not that I do things that is abusive to myself, but the fact that I just overexpend my energy with
Right.
everything that I do. I think probably it may be the same problem for all of us. Especially for females, right? You want to be a good mother, you want to be a good wife, you want to be a good worker, good in your career. You want to be many, many roles, and you want to be the best in everything. But unfortunately, we only have 24 hours a day.
Mm.
We really have to make a choice in terms of priority. And actually, one very big lesson that I learned last year is on self-love. Yeah.
Mm. Such an
What happened?
important
Correct. Because there's
lesson.
one day, actually, I was feeling quite upset over something. And
Okay.
so what happened was that day, my daughter asked me, she said, Mom, today I come back from school early. Shall we just go out, have some time together? So we decided to go for a very nice high tea. And that day, I told myself, okay, today I'm really upset. So I decided I'm going to give myself rest time.
Yep.
Usually my rest time is what? I'll still do housework during my rest time.
Oh, okay.
with my work. I'm so disciplined, right? So when it's rest time, I'll do my work. Then maybe I'll have my drama serial on my iPad. I'll watch as I do my
Oh,
housework.
okay.
Yes, but for that day, I told myself, okay, enough is enough for today. I'm just going to rest. I'm going to do things that I like. So I just recently picked up Chinese calligraphy. So I started,
Oh.
so I said, tonight I'm going to do Chinese calligraphy. So I started writing. And at the end of the day, you know what happened? I realized that for a good 45 years of my life, I never lived a life like that.
Right. Wow,
Not
what a realization.
not one day that I live like that. I realized that when I first graduated, when I was single, I was working for my parents because
Mm-hmm.
I hope that, I can make life easier. My dad is
Right.
the breadwinner, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So I thought that, well, I want to do well so that my family can, or rather my father's burden can be lessened and he can enjoy more of his time. And when I was married, I thought that, you know, uh, I'm doing everything for the whole family.
Yes.
So I hope that my existence can benefit my child, my husband, things like that. So everything that I'm doing is actually for other people, but there's no one day that I actually think about myself and
Mm.
live for myself. And during
Mm.
that period, just so happens that I had very low blood pressure. So I was seeing this doctor. And you know what he told me? I found it to be so inspirational. He said, Peck Cheng, do you know sometimes doing nothing is actually doing something?
Yeah.
Then I realized that, oh my God, there's so much wisdom in what he is saying. Yeah, I was so impressed, and I realized that, well, I never live a day for myself. And I think about it, no wonder my health was affected
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
I'm always thinking about others.
Yep.
And
Yes.
that is one huge lesson I learned when I had cancer, because I realized that during that period when I'm so sick, when I'm going through chemotherapy, radiotherapy, I couldn't even eat properly. Everything I eat vomited out. Yeah, I was in pain that I couldn't sleep well. I couldn't even speak properly, right? And I was so glad during that period, my auntie was looking after me and my mom looking after my daughter. But what does it mean? Do you know how lousy it was at that during that period of time? Because I realized that, oh my God, I cannot even look after my own daughter. There's a period when because my immunity was so low, my whole mouth is full of fungus. I'm worried about transferring
Oh,
her. Yeah, because this fungus,
right.
when your immunity is low, you get it, and
Okay.
it's transferable. Can you
I
imagine?
see.
I cannot even go and hug and kiss my daughter.
Oh dear.
That kind of feeling. So
Yeah,
I
that sounds
realized,
bad.
and yes, and I really felt sad because when I'm fine, you know, my family members, my friends are calling me, asking me for this and that. Do you think you
Mm-hmm.
can help with this, help with that? And I love helping people. And I realized during this whole period, I can't do a single thing for anybody.
Right.
And it was, of course, the first lesson that I learned on self-love, meaning if I don't look after myself, how am I
Absolutely.
going to look
Yeah.
after others, right?
Yes.
And the second revelation, like I said, just came only last year. When I realized that, oh my God, I didn't quite live a day for myself. I mean, that is another very important lesson that I actually learned on self-love. And taking this opportunity, I think it is good for me to share this with all of our friends or even ladies. Yeah, I think sometimes there's limited energy and time that we have. Choose those things which are most important to you. Take very good care of yourself. I think that's really very important. Yeah, and you'll be how to say, you'll be surprised by the outcome, because when I decided to take a break, then I realized that, hey, actually I'm spending my time in a more productive manner. I used to be able to only perform 2 to 3 things a day. But with enough rest, I can do like 5 to 6 things just in one morning. Yeah,
Wow.
it doesn't mean
Okay.
the more
That
time you
sounds
spend,
fantastic.
precisely. I mean, it's all about how you are spending your time. It should be productive, right? Quantity doesn't mean quality. It is all
Yeah.
about quality. Yeah, so this is a huge lesson that I learned. Yeah.
Wow, Peck Cheng, thank you for sharing your very amazing, journey that you've been on and the lessons that you've learned from it, right? Like from your cancer diagnosis. And I hear you about, some of the lessons. In fact, I took down notes, right, about slowing down, being more patient. To be slow is also can be also fast, right? And also this huge message about self-love. Like I'm sure you know by now that I'm also a huge advocate for self-love, and I feel that it's so important for women, right? Because we handle multiple roles as a mother, as someone who's also working, family. There's just so many things that are requiring our attention. So this need for self-love and just taking the day off for ourselves is just so vital. So
Yes, really, really, really. I mean, I've come across situation where people getting depressed just because they didn't have enough rest. They even
yes,
feel guilty about taking breaks. I mean,
yes,
that shouldn't be the way that things are, should be handled. Yeah, that's my
yeah,
opinion and my observation also. We all need some time to ourselves. Like I said, if you want to give, you must be able to take good care of yourself first. Yeah, if you're not
yes,
well mentally and physically,
yes,
how are you going to take care of another individual? Think about it. What kind of energy are
precisely.
you giving out? Yeah.
Precisely. And I think as women we also tend to be very nurturing, right? Like we want to give, we want to take care of people and things. And unknowingly we also take on a lot of stuff onto our own plate. Like we find it so hard to say no. So we are saying yes to a lot of things without realizing that maybe we need to set healthier boundaries. We need to learn to say no to things that are already tipping us into overload and just to take the day off. Such a wonderful message that you have to share. Okay, so I hear you. I hear your passion, your motivation in bringing this message out. Are there any other topics that you're passionate in sharing? Like, what other topics do you cover as a speaker?
Oh, okay. I also talk on topics related to financial planning because
Okay,
that's where I came from, right? More
right.
than 20 years in the industry. Yeah, so I talk on topics which are very close to our heart, on estate planning, on legacy planning, business succession, retirement, even in terms of insurance planning. Yeah, so these are all very important topics in our life that can actually affect us quite significantly. And sometimes for some of the events that I do, right, I really feel very good when the audience can come back and tell me that, hey, picturing, on this topic, I'm getting a lot more insights. Yeah. So that's what I hope I can share with others because this is a skill, something that I've been learning. I've been accumulating experience over the years, and thanks to my clientele base and
Mm-hmm,
people that I work with, I had the opportunity to see many, many kinds of scenarios. And
mm-hmm,
I think through the sharings, we will have a better understanding of how different situations can be handled. I mean, in terms of the financial aspects, as well as be able to think beyond think out of the box.
right,
Yeah,
right.
again, I think a lot of things, be it motivation, be it financial planning, I think sometimes is also the ability of being able to see opportunities or options which are tra- traditionally used, but or rather, sorry, please allow me to rephrase. What I mean is that allow us to look at opportunities or new ways of handling a situation. Yeah. And in my opinion, if you understand the concepts of the different aspects of planning, it'll be easier for you to navigate along the way. Yeah, rather than letting the small nitty-gritties affect you, right? Let's say, for example, even in terms of products, there are so many products, example for
Yes,
insurance in the market or even
yes,
retirement. How do I know which one to go for, isn't it? Right?
yep,
Clients coming to me and saying that, hey, picturing there are so many, wow, I don't even
yes,
know which one. My whole point is if you understand the products in broad categories, okay, understand their purpose, their advantages and disadvantages, then that is the time, then you are able to evaluate your options uh, more appropriately. And also in terms of your individual timeline, okay, I sometimes I get things from client like, oh, my friend got this plan, which is I heard is the best in the industry. Then I was like, wow, there's no such thing as the best thing, right? If it's the best, I think everybody is gone already. Okay, there can't be a best product, best, you know. Yeah, it is all about the advantages and there's always advantages and disadvantages to things, and it is really what is most suitable for our individual situation. Yeah, so for our talks, uh, my job is to first, of course, in terms of education, I think educating is a means of empowering our audience to be able to make discerning kind of decisions, informed decisions. That's one aspect. The other aspect is for them to understand what are the things to consider when making certain financial decisions. All right. Then, of course, then we'll match what are the options which are available in the market and how are you going to proceed, execute, or even in terms of review. And yeah, so when do you need to review and when do you start to have to think about you need to do a review and how are you going to proceed with it? Yeah. So this will be on the financial aspects. There's another aspect that I do, that's on sales training. Again, because of the background from my
Wow.
yeah, I think it is a wasted. It will be wasted if I don't share. Some of the techniques that I learned in this area, and I'm
Right.
particularly interested in the area of soft skills training for sales training. I think it is often overlooked. Yeah. Sometimes when we are talking about selling, it's not just selling the product features.
Yes. Yes.
There's actually many aspects that we can pay attention to. I think in terms of how you're presenting yourself, how are you going to build the trust within a very short period of time, and whether are you able to understand yourself so that you can match it to the profile of the clients that you are meeting. Profiling to me is a very huge topic.
Right.
It is not about understanding people to manipulate. I think that's the wrong way of seeing it. In my opinion, is understanding people through profiling so that you can match the communication and your information can be transferred in a more efficient and effective manner. Yeah. So on profiling, I also do personal branding. Basically, how you are going to present yourself. Let yourself stand out in the market. And the interesting thing is that some people think that sales is only for salespeople.
Okay.
But the thing is that is it so? Actually, in my opinion, every day we are selling something, right?
Yeah.
When we go for interview, we are selling about ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah, and when my daughter is talking to me, she's selling an idea to me and hoping that
Right.
I will do
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so every day we are doing some sort of selling
Yeah.
to some aspect, isn't it? Like
Yes.
even when me as an employee in a corporate environment, I'll have to do well and I have to be seen. That is
Yes.
also selling, right? So the thing is that don't restrict your thinking to just one aspect. That sales training means it is only for salespeople. No, actually, it's a skill that we should be learning. Even in courtship, right?
Yeah.
Go after the girl or the guy that you like. Yeah, that is selling by itself.
Peck Cheng, I have to say that thank you for allowing me to sell you this idea of being featured in this interview.
Yeah, I mean, thanks, Evelyn. I mean, I do appreciate it. I do appreciate it very much. I think, thank you very much. I feel very happy and privileged to be invited by you. Yes, and I have found this session to be very meaningful. So I felt, well, it could be it could be a good opportunity for us to actually have some sharings, which maybe it can benefit some of our audiences here today.
Yeah, I'm sure you would. And you sound really an expert and so experienced in speaking. Like I'm seeing three broad categories that you are actually very passionate about covering, and motivational, financial planning, as well as sales training. And even then, sales training may seem quite specific to salespeople, but you've actually highlighted the fact that it's actually for everyone, right? Every one of us is trying to sell something. So your topics definitely have a lot of appeal, and I can see how your passion is flowing through and wanting to value add to people's lives. Now, if there is one business advice that you can give to anyone, right, who is hoping to be a speaker or who is hoping to kind of like, just be able to impact lives, right? What advice would you give?
I give more than one.
Sure.
Rather, I think more of learnings through
Okay.
these few years of being in this business. Yeah, I think first and foremost, I think it is important to start something with the end in mind.
Okay.
Yes, I think that is the case for everything that, in fact, you can apply it on everything that you are doing. What do you intend to achieve at the end of the day? Yeah. Why I'm saying that is because a lot of times when we go into a business, of course, we feel that we have a reasonable chance of succeeding.
Yes.
That's why we are in it, isn't it?
Yes.
Right? But honestly, when you first started, you realize that, oh, actually, it is not as easy as I thought.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Which means
definitely.
that it will take a few years, before things stabilize. Like I was
Yes.
speaking to this very successful business owner. He was telling me it took him 4 years to stabilize. But after the fourth year, everything just take off from
Right.
there.
Right.
Yeah. But the initial period is a period that you really have to be able to sustain. I mean,
Yes.
for financial planning aspect, please make sure you have enough reserve funds.
Right.
My opinion, a lot of us, we may think that 1 year is good enough, but think about this COVID situation.
Yeah.
If you hit a situation like that, okay, my question is, how many of us has enough reserve for the next 2 to 3 years? So I think at least 4 to 5 years provision in terms of funds, so that you know that you can have enough time, all right, to build what you need to build. And when times are difficult, you know that, hey, my whole family is still taken care of. For me, it may not apply to everybody. I'm somebody, when I do something, I don't want my family to be affected, to suffer because of it.
Right.
So I make sure I have enough to take care of the situation and that I don't trouble people, right? So that's one aspect. So you will need some time to build your business. So do give yourself enough time allowance to do that, right? So you must have your financial reserve, and even in terms of your mindset, right? That is why I say you need to start with the end in mind, because when things become really rough,
Yes.
what you see at the end is the one that is helping you hold on to your dream
Yes.
and to your vision. Right?
Yes.
I'm sure Evelyn will agree with me. Yeah, because we are all business owners. You can understand what I'm trying to say. So if better still, if you can get yourself a mentor, I think that would be fantastic.
Yep.
Right? Some of the businesses that I've seen that flourish fast is about really working with the right partners.
Yes.
Working with individuals who are experienced, who are able to share their experiences with you and maybe even guide you along. If you have the luxury of that, I think that will be the best. Yeah, because you save you some time and also some huge pricey mistakes. But having said that, I think another thing that I would like to share is honestly, mistake is perfectly all right. Yeah. I think what happens is, I think we are brought up in a culture where we are not used to making mistakes. And the moment we make mistake, we feel that it is the end of the world.
Yes.
It's shameful. But really, my opinion is the more, how do you say, we are willing and be able to stomach mistakes, I think the learnings will be faster. Yeah, because if every day I think about not making a mistake, then I as well don't do anything. But if you don't do anything, nothing will ever happen, isn't it? Right? So ability to take mistakes. I think more importantly is, how do you treat these mistakes? Is it going to be a baggage that's going to stop you from moving forward forever? Or is it going to give you new good lessons which you can empower yourself with and actually move ahead in the business that you are in? Yeah. And of course, another aspect which I found is very helpful is if you can't find mentors, look for good working partners. Okay, working partners may not be working partners who need to invest in your same company. It could be two separate entities, two separate companies collaborating together, right? More importantly is we must also recognize individuals' effort is that much.
Yes.
It's important for us to recognize that different individuals has different kind of abilities and be able to appreciate. There's no way that one person can be perfect in all aspects. Okay, even if you are, there's not enough time. Right?
Yes.
Do what you're best in. Collaborate with people who are like-minded, so that when you're working together, you're aligned in terms of your thoughts, right? And also, it should be mutually complementary in terms of what you're able to bring to the table. And I think not just in terms of what you can offer, I mean in terms of collaboration, it is also entrepreneurship can be a very lonely and painful journey. Let's put it this way, yeah. You can have more companions along the way. Why not, right? Yeah, can we go through the pain, eat supper together after a hard day? So, I think all these are good energy, that can push us forward to what we intend to achieve for our own businesses.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Peck Cheng, for sharing all these wisdom from your own entrepreneurial journey. And I'm glad that we actually met in a business and marketing workship and found that, that we kind of clicked because of being like-minded, and that's really nice. So I hear you, and if I may just summarize some of the things that you've said about, growing this business is about having reserve funds, having mindset is so important, having the end in mind, making mistakes is just so important, being able to work through the challenges because there will always be challenges, and also having collaborative partners, right? That we are not in this alone, because it can be hard and lonely trying to build a business on our own, and just having that mutual support is just going to ensure a greater chance of success. So thank you for sharing, your wisdom, your insights. Like, you shared so much that I've actually written a whole set of notes here. Now, if anyone is looking for a speaker for any of the, the topics that you've been covering, like financial, motivational, as well as sales training, how can they look for you? Like, is there a website, a page that you have?
You can go to my Facebook page under Click International Private Limited. You'll be able to contact me from the Facebook page. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll be posting. You share with me the link, so I'll be posting it along with this video.
Yes, correct. Yeah. I also have a website for my company. You can also search pclickSalesTraining.com. Yeah.
How do you spell that? P-click.
Yeah, that's right. PCLIQ Sales Training. That means all in one word, .com. That will be my website. If you are going to Facebook, it'll be P space CLIQ International Private Limited.
Okay, great. I'll also be posting the links on the website along with this video, so that it's easier for others to search for you. Thank you, Peck Cheng, for sharing, your amazing stories, your passion, your drive, your entrepreneurial journey. I'm feeling so inspired by your journey, right? I think there's so much that I'm learning from you today. Thank you for sharing all this. And for anyone listening in, thank you for joining us for this interview. I'm so glad that you're here with us to listen in on this entrepreneurial or Solopreneur Spotlight series. Thank you.
Thank you, Evelyn. Thanks for the invite. Yeah.
All right. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.